Hello, friends. Welcome back to one another session of hospital and clinical pharmacy. Myself, Miss Malvi Rajendra Bhavsar, KK Wag Institute of Pharmacy, Nashik. So, welcome to the new chapter Procurement of Store and Testing of Raw Materials. After watching this video, student will be able to learn that how to procure the raw materials, when to reorder, and what is parameter of testing of raw material. So, introduction. First, we'll deal with the introduction. So, to run the hospital successfully, we have two types of purchase. First is purchase capital equipments, which include computerized scanner, operation theater equipments, furniture and fixture. And second, purchase of item of store to run the hospital on day-to-day basis. So the items which are kept in stores first are essential supplies like cotton, bottles, bandages, switchers, ligatures, needles, syringes, IV fluid, etc. Drug, medicine, reagent, chemicals, then catering items of food and provision if the hospital gives food to patient and employees. Most of the hospital have a purchase budget which is preparation on yearly basis. Big hospital have two types of purchasing arrangement. First is centralized purchase for the entire hospital of all the items. They are done either by purchase officer or by purchase committee. And second is decentralized purchase which is done by the user department. Example, a pharmacy department is allowed to purchase the drugs, medicines, and essential supplies in decentralized purchase. The pharmacist purchase on behalf of clinical staff and is justified in doing so since it is the responsibility to compound, dispense, and manufacture drugs in the hospital. Procurement of purchase of drug. The centralized purchase or department headed by an officer has to issue the purchase order, follow them up, institute bidding procedure, and invite quotation. He also maintains purchase record. Then how procurement or purchase of a drug is done in decentralized purchase? It is done either by the junior medical officer or a pharmacist have to carry out. Okay, so first step is direct purchase from the wholesaler or manufacturer. Second, institute procedure for inviting bids, emergency purchase from the local market, or enter into the rate contract. Then sources of purchasing the store. Okay, so how must be your source or what should be your source for purchasing the stores? In each hospital has to select the source of supplies very carefully. So far, there is no elaborate vendor evaluation process. But trend is to evaluate the supplier carefully. He should be a licensed parties with impeccable track record are chosen. The central purchase department is kept informed about the source. The sources are selected by pharmacist or the officer or a purchase committee. The list of the supplier with the full address and telephone number is maintained by pharmacist. The wholesaler, distributor appointed by them are also mentioned. Then procurement or a purchase procedure. What are the steps involved in procurement or purchase? So first step is purchase requisition, means preparing the purchase slip or requisition. Once the specification are drawn, the purchase requisition is prepared. The requisition carries description of items needed, their packaging, their price, their quantity. It may also mention the quantity right now on the hand and quantity required for the future period. The original requisition is sent to administration head of the concerned department. Once approved by the administrative head, it is sent to the purchasing officer and one copy is retained by pharmacist. Then second step to prepare the purchase order. After getting purchase requisition or a receipt of purchase requisition, the purchase officer or pharmacist prepare detailed purchase order in the printed form. The items are systematically ordered by spelling out the specification, prices, and quantities of each order. The basis of making the purchase order or PO is a purchase requisition. Then several copies of purchase orders can be prepared. So first copy is given to supplier, second copy is for account section, third copy is for purchase section, fourth copy is for the department from where purchase requisition is originated. Then two copies of receipt section are for store, out of which one is used for good when arrived for checking and other when the goods are sent. And the copy for a filing to purchase section to ascertain the rates and other information in future. Then the purchase order is sent by a post or courier to the supplier. Then receipt of good. When the order arrives, they are subjected to the arrival control. The quantities and values are checked. The invoice of the suppliers are compared with PO. If the part of goods are returned to the supplier, immediately a good return notice prepared with one copy going to supplier and other copy to the concerned department. Against turns, a credit note is obtained from the supplier. The supplies received are entered on the purchase record register having the column receipt as well as issue to get a complete picture of inventory. Then when to reorder. So reorder quantity is that quantity when additional stock becomes necessary considering rate of consumption. Reorder level maintains the buffer stock since otherwise there will be a stock out situation. Reorder level has to consider the lead time taken. So the time between placing order and receiving the good, enough stock should be available to cover the lead time period. So reorder point is when average usage rate per month in unit of issue divided by 13 weeks or other hospital decided figure into the lead time. While reordering, attention must be given to unanticipated large consumption, expiry date, purchase bottleneck, and review of reorder point to respond to charge level of consumption. Then how much to order? There are two types of cost involving ordering, the ordering cost and carrying cost. Ordering cost is a cost of writing an order, sending it, telephoning, and labor cost to do so. It is expressed in rupees per order. The carrying cost is the cost of carrying or holding the stock item. That is the interest cost, rental and lease insurance cost, taxes, adolescence cost, pilferage, breakage, expiry cost. The inventory value is divided by the total carrying cost. It is expressed as a percentage of inventory value. Or it can be calculated as economic order quantity, which is equal to under root of 2 into 12 into monthly usage into order cost divided by unit cost into holding cost. And EOQ of several important items can be checked. Then tender system of purchasing. In this tender are or bids might be invited from the supplier and generally the lowest bidder is chosen for supplying the order. Then we have rate contract given to the bidder which binds to supply at an agreed rate a specified total quantity against purchase order released from time to time till agreed contract is over. It ensures the assured supply at an assured price of an assured quality. For a bulk drug or regular medicine and for the food provision, poultry, meat and vegetable, it is better to have a rate contract with a panel of a supplier or a signal supplier. Then Central Purchasing Organization, Director General of Supplier and Disposal and such other central purchasing organization supply of drug to public sector of hospital. The respective state government may have their own central purchasing organization. Most of the hospitals buy from both the source, indirectly from the government purchasing organization or directly from the market. Purchase are rationalized if the hospital adopts a formulary by restricting the scope of purchase function to item listed in the formulary. Then material management. The entire gamut of purchasing, storage, inventory, control, distribution now forms a discipline called material management. And in future, more and more hospitals are going to adopt the material management orientation. Then testing of raw materials. Okay, the very important part is testing of raw material. Most of the items received by the hospital conform the standard of purity and potency laid down in the pharmacopoeia and other official book. So hospitals should have a separate premises for the testing of raw material. So these are the different tests or testing to conform to the official standard. So first you have to see usual strength, description, order and test, solubility, official standard, expression of standard, limit of tolerance, test and assay, limits of impurity, percentage alcohol, reagents and solution, reference standard, test procedure or assay procedures. Then in that microbiological test, packaging, story and labeling, weight and measures, blank determination, indicator, pressure, temperature. Then synopsis of analytical method. Analytical method are again classified as classical method and instrumental method. Classical includes gravimetric, where end product of analysis is weighed and it has direct or indirect known as mass relationship with the substance to be estimated. Volumetric analysis. In this, titration is done. Volume of solution of accurately known concentration required to rate the qualitatively with the solution of being substance being determined. Analysis is macroanalysis when sample uses zero point 0.1 gram or greater. It is semi-microanalysis when the sample is 10 to 100 milligram, and microanalysis when your sample is usually 10 milligram. The separation technique uses solvency extraction, ion exchange chromatography, then spectroscopy where interaction of matter with electromagnetic radiation is there. Conductometry, conduction of a solution of a simple electrolyte at a constant temperature and constant pressure applied potential. Polarography, where electroanalytical techniques are used. The new frontier in testing, following analytical techniques are there: flame photometry, fluorometry, electrophoresis, and photometric hemoglobinometry. Thank you. Thank you very much for this patience listening of this video. Thank you very much. See you in the next session.